Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Monday. I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, New York State Police is investigating a fatal accident in Cattaraugus County. Details coming up.
Plus, a Jamestown woman is charged in a head-on collision involving a child. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is here with a live look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin and Matt, and happy Monday, everybody. Made it through another weekend. Can you believe July is almost over with? We have, about another 1 or 2 weeks left of July. And that's it, and then we're into August. And here's what's going on radar right now. We've had some rain showers that have been coming through this morning, and this activity is going to continue pretty much throughout the early afternoon, but this will ultimately start to die down as we go into the afternoon. As we zoom you right into the southern tier, you can see all this activity is pretty much moving to the east-northeast. So again, expect this, it's not anything too heavy, but you will see some raindrops falling from the sky time to time, pretty much early this afternoon. But by the time we get into late afternoon, they all should die down, but don't expect much sunshine. In terms of the pollens, we haven't checked the pollen counts in a while. Still running at 130 pollutants per meter, and grass, obviously still our main pollutant at this point in time. Obviously, since we're in summer, that's obviously our main pollutant. So AM showers taper off, otherwise cloudy skies. I expect no sunshine today, so I'm sorry. I can't give you any sunshine today, but much cooler, below average. Look at these highs, 65 to 73. The average is 80. This is well below average, with a north wind averaging around 6 to 12 miles per hour. We stay below average over the next couple of days, but the warmth comes back as long as the humidity. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. Back to you.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you much. Our top story, one person died at the scene of a two-vehicle accident early yesterday morning. That at the intersection of West Yorkshire and Savage Roads, Cattaraugus County. New York State Police say that another person was taken to Berland Chaffee Hospital in Springville and transferred to Erie County Medical Center for further treatment. A third person was also treated at the scene. Police say that charges are pending further investigation.
And Jamestown police say an 18-year-old Jamestown woman was allegedly under the influence of alcohol when her vehicle drove into a lane of another vehicle and hit it head-on Sunday morning in the area of Allen and King Streets. Now, police additionally say that Michelle Grimm had a 15-year-old passenger in the vehicle at the time of the accident. Grimm is charged with aggravated driving while intoxicated with a child in the vehicle, endangering the welfare of a child, driving while intoxicated, and failure to keep right. Grimm was taken to Jamestown City Jail pending arraignment in the case.
The city of Jamestown man was arrested late Friday night after police say he allegedly kicked his girlfriend several times during a domestic dispute. 49-year-old Raymond Finch is charged with second-degree unlawful imprisonment and aggravated family offense. Police say they responded to the area of Barrow Street for a report of a domestic dispute. Now, after speaking with the man's girlfriend, it is alleged that Finch threw her to the ground and kicked her several times to prevent her from getting up. Police say that Finch was held in Jamestown City Jail pending arraignment.
And Representative Tom Reed and Derek Kilmer introduced Bipartisan Teacher Education for Computer Science Act on Friday to help build a robust pipeline for computer science education to ensure that today's students can be successful and innovative in the workforce. Reed says the bill would establish the Centers of Excellence for Teachers Education programs in computer science at graduate schools for higher education. The Center of Excellence established by the bill would be supported through a competitive 5-year grant from the Department of Education with a matching requirement to incentivize public, private, state, federal, or philanthropic partnerships. Now, the federal funding would enable schools to build long-term sustainable programs. The funding would also allow schools to hire and retain faculty to carry out robust computer science education, research, train doctoral students in the field, and educate graduate and undergraduate students part of the program. Now, for more on the legislation, visit our website at WNYNewsNow.com.
Yeah, and certainly, Justin, I mean, seeing, we saw this when we went to high school even, how
and that was, what, 5 or 6 years ago now?
How the computer science programs have been have been building and improving over time. So it's interesting to see here how this legislation will work.
And the thing that I'm sure, I mean, it seems kind of obvious in today's world, but we're surrounded by computers. I mean, I have a computer in my pocket 24/7, so this whole room is surrounded by computers, and I think that's starting to become the trend of pretty much every industry, and that's where the money's being made.
Absolutely.
So, good for Congressman Reed, and we'll see kind of going forward a little more specifics of this. Obviously, this is not something just for Western New York. It's something that they want to have across all of the nation to try to get people into that. And again, in bigger cities, they very much have access to computers and things like that. But certainly in more rural areas, outside of like a public library, there's really sometimes low cell connection or not high-speed internet available. I know people in Randolph who have a ridiculous internet connection speed. It's crazy how horrible it is.
And we wasn't there something earlier this year that County Executive George Borrello was trying to look at in the
working
North County?
with DFT to try to get high-speed internet to people. So certainly, it's a changing world, and there are people out there trying to further that. So, well, happy Monday to all of you. Thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out with WNY News Now. TGIM, as we like to call it, although sometimes Mondays aren't as fun as they could be.
Mondays are never fun.
We try to make them fun around
Well, we'll
here.
make it fun, but they're not fun.
Well, until Matt gets his coffee, he is a grumpy bear in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
You do not want to go by Matt Hummel's office. I stay away. As far away as possible. Hello to Rory. Hopefully you're doing well. Good afternoon to Cindy. Pam, thanks for tuning in. Dawn, thanks for being here. Raven, good to see you as always. Sue, hello to you. Hello to Joseph as well. Hopefully you're doing good. Hello to Nora as well. Thank you so much for being here and for hanging out. And we have a lot more local news to tell you about. Coming up, New York State Senator Chuck Schumer. He's calling for airlines to stock life-saving medicines. Details just minutes away.
But first, we speak with Jamestown mayoral candidate Eddie Sundquist. Dakota.
Well, computer science is a big thing. Many people know my first major in college was computer information systems. 80 over 60 was where we were yesterday, and that's right around average, and it's cooler today, and that will continue over the next couple of days. News Now at noon continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's going to have some bison in it, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's going to have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
And happening now as summer heats up, the Democratic candidate for City of Jamestown mayor is trying to reach out to voters in a unique way. Eddie Sundquist says every Saturday in the month of August, his campaign will host community block parties around the city with the hope of speaking to residents he normally would not see. Now, Sundquist, in an interview with WNY News Now this morning, says he's received a lot of good feedback from the first block party that was held last weekend.
So we had one in Ward 2, which was last Saturday. We had about just a little over 50 people show up. It was just in a backyard, and it was absolutely incredible. We've got feedback about what's going on with streets being redone. We've got feedback on the neighborhoods, about safety, and those are the types of things we want to take and move forward as we go along into November and then ultimately into January when we get a new administration in office.
Now, Sundquist said the fall election is very important for the city. It's an important turning point. The candidate said the two largest issues the city faces right now is an aging housing stock that needs renovation and improving the landscape of jobs within the area. A full list of block parties scheduled for next month is available at eddiesunquist.com.
New York State Senator Chuck Schumer is calling for airlines to stock life-saving medicines like EpiPens. Joining him on Sunday was a New York physician who recently saved the life of a passenger experiencing a serious food allergy attack aboard a Delta flight.
I don't know what I would have done had the epi not worked, and I don't know who else would have had the courage to cut into a young man's throat.
The airlines should carry EpiPens, and we are asking the FAA to immediately remove the exemption so that these pens, these life-saving EpiPens, can be on every airplane.
Now, Schumer says the EpiPens could be part of the standard emergency medical kits already on each U.S. flight.
Well, two studies published in the medical journal JAMA talk about cannabis use during pregnancy. One by the National Institutes of Health show an increase in the number of pregnant women who report using cannabis in the past month. Now, according to that study, it had doubled over the last 15 years. Other studies describe an elevated risk of preterm delivery among women who report using cannabis during pregnancy. Now, weed is legal in some form in 33 states as well as the District of Columbia. Now, according to the American College for OBGYNs, cannabis is the illicit drug most commonly used during pregnancy.
When dealing with a difficult medical diagnosis, sometimes it's hard to distinguish in your body what is related to that issue and what could it also be. In today's Health Minute, Britt Conway looks at the connection between two different medical diagnoses.
If you suffer from broken heart syndrome, it's worth being checked for cancer. That's according to a new study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association. It found 1 in 6 patients with broken heart syndrome developed cancer, and those patients with both conditions were less likely to survive 5 years. Now, broken heart syndrome, or Takotsubo syndrome, occurs when the heart's main chamber enlarges and then doesn't pump efficiently. It's believed to be brought on by high levels of physical or even emotional stress, but about 1/3 of patients can't pinpoint an exact stressor. Researchers believe that cancer patients are less likely to report any emotional distress they might have, potentially leading to their heart symptoms going undiagnosed. The lead author of the study says oncologists and hematologists can learn from these results and should consider screening cancer patients for broken heart syndrome and vice versa. For today's Health Minute, I'm Britt Conway.
Alrighty, Britt, thank you. And certainly, Justin, that's interesting to me because I've heard, people say that you can die of a broken heart, but I never heard that it could potentially lead to cancer or other stuff.
Well, I've always figured that, especially the emotions, the psychological and the physical well-being of people, it seems like it always comes together. So certainly, if you're so distraught that it causes issue within your heart, your brain, I'm sure a lot of people coming off, I know a lot of people who have dealt with mental health after going through something like a bad breakup or some very traumatic thing in their personal life, and so certainly something to get checked, and good that they're making these connections, because I'm sure in the end, it will help people, kind of overcome things like that. So, but I don't know. Joe chiming in says, I don't believe it, and I could see where that comes from, where it's like, well, the emotions are separate than something physical. I mean, if I'm a happy person yet I eat potato chips 24/7, I'm probably gonna have a heart attack. I believe that. Certainly, no matter how happy I am, it doesn't matter. But I do believe a little bit that positive outlook could lift your spirits. I mean, it'll make you feel better, you think better, you feel better, you live better, at least a little bit. So let us know what you think in the comments. Happy Monday to everybody. Thanks for hanging out and tuning in. Certainly today is quite a bit of relief from what we had over the weekend. It was hot hot. Saturday was almost horrible. My family has like a bonfire get together most weekends, and we normally meet up at like 6 o'clock. Well, we postponed that sucker till like 8:30, almost 9, and it was sweltering still. You think we're crazy, but we have fans outside because we needed a breeze. There was no breeze. So today, albeit a lot cooler, it does feel nicer to be in the cold, but certainly no one wants any rain either way.
And I want to give if you don't mind, Justin, I do want to give a quick shout out up to Joseph. He said that he's a cancer survivor.
God bless Joseph.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here because we see you in the comments a lot. I mean, if I remember right, Joseph was the one that wanted to have some wine that one day.
Yeah,
right?
he did. I think it was you and
you were
Davino.
We were going to join in.
Yeah, we're gonna have an Italian supper with some good pasta. But yeah, Michelle, she says suffered both last year. They appear to be unrelated to her, so kind of contradicting that.
I think it just all honestly depends on the person, the circumstances, and everybody's different.
Yeah, she says she felt like she could have died from her broken heart, but the cancer was prior to that, only weeks before. So very interesting talker for sure. But anchovies on the pizza. You gotta love those.
I don't know about that, but mushrooms.
I like mushrooms and anchovies. Pineapple is surprisingly good. I know. Rory and I agree on that there. So and Dawn, she's looking for some relief when it comes to the rain, and aren't we all? Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's standing by with a live look at our forecast, whether or not more rain will be on the way.
And later on, the Jamestown Renaissance Corporation, they just unveiled a giant chair downtown. We'll have more as News Now continues.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story, a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
And welcome back. And pineapples and anchovies do not go on a pizza. Here's a live look from the Mill Creek Mall Sky Vision camera, and you can see the clouds overhead, 67 right now, south-southwest wind of 4, that's a mouthful, and a little more than 1/10 of an inch of rain so far today. And let's take a look at the weather headlines over the next couple of days. So cooler weather over the next several days. So it's not going to be feeling like June, at least for a few days here. But the good news is after today, the majority of this week is really going to be dry. We see some drier weather coming our way, but when you know the humidity starts to spike up again towards the end of the week, going into the weekend, it's June. It's supposed to feel this way. And we'll show it to you here on the comfort index. Again, a little bit humid today because of the rain, but look what on Tuesday and Wednesday. The dew points down into the 50s, but Thursday and Friday we start to spike the humidity back up into the 60s for dew points once again. Here's a new graphic, And this is a new graphic that we created specifically just for our Rory Polaro, if it'll come up. Here it is, hook, line, and sinker. It's a boating forecast. We know it's a fishing forecast. We know that our Rory Polaro loves to go out and fish. So here's what you can expect. This is for tomorrow. Again, right around 8 o'clock. Pretty much the lower 60s, and then this is suggesting that we'll spike up into the lower 70s through the afternoon. Again, our average high is 80, but look at that. There'll be beautiful blue sky, so you won't have any rain to contend with tomorrow. Here's the news now, Cam. Again, we just have the clouds that are socked in. Right now it's 60 with an east wind to 7, and the humidity is up to 93%. Of course, when you have the rain, it spikes the overall humidity values. So here's First Defense Doppler. Again, all this rain is moving to the east-northeast, and this is going to continue throughout the early afternoon. We'll zoom you right into Chautauqua County and show you what's going on here. The majority of this is starting to exit. We have a little bit of a break here that's coming across Chautauqua Lake, but there's a little bit more development back to the west. We'll swing you into Cat County to show you what's going on here. This is where the majority of the steadier rain is, but again, it's light rain. It's not heavy rain, and we'll take you down to Northwest PA. There's a big band of rain down here. Again, you saw the cloudy skies from that Erie Sky Vision camera, and it's all coming up pretty much this way from the south. And what's going on here, we have two cold fronts, one that is pushed through. Here's another one back to our west, and there's two low pressure areas hooked up in tandem that is bringing the rain. But after this front moves through, the rain actually clears out. So here it is on FutureScan. You can see the model picks up on the rain. It all clears out as we go into the afternoon, but no sunshine today. I expect none of it. The clouds are just going to win it out throughout the day. Now, as we go into the late afternoon into the evening, this computer model tries to spit out a couple isolated showers. Definitely a possibility, but they all go to bed for the night, and then tomorrow will be nice and dry with temperatures a little bit warmer, but still below average for this time of the year. And the next big thing that we're keeping an eye on, if you want the warmth, it does return. This goes out until the 1st of August, and it does look like we're going to get warm once again as we go into August. So if you want the warmth, hang on. It's returning. We'll go zone by zone for you today. Temperatures today, right near the Lake Erie shoreline, maybe 74 around Ripley. July is on summer break. Enjoy it while it's on break if you didn't like the heat and humidity over the past couple of days. Eastward we go again. Again, temperatures here a little bit cooler. This is computer data, which is suggesting around 71 degrees around Jamestown. Think some areas inland may actually stay in the 60s all day. Go on to maybe 73 degrees there, but lots of clouds, no sunshine for the day. Next 7 days of your life coming up, and 75 tomorrow, 75 also on Wednesday. Again, should be mainly dry. 78 Thursday, lots of sunshine Thursday and Friday before the humidity spikes up again for the weekend, but temperatures back to a summer feel into the 80s. Sports is next. Don't go away.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Manic Monday, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. With the Jamestown Jackals team tryouts in New York City canceled on Saturday due to the heat, the tryouts will now be taking place right here in Jamestown. Tryouts in Jamestown will be in August, with a date still to be determined. The fee to participate in trying out for the Jamestown Jackals is $200. The tryout fee can be paid for on the team website. The City of Jamestown Parks, Recreation, and Conservation Modified Softball League will be having 2 playoff games played on Tuesday, with both first pitch times being at 6:30. One of the games will be played at Danielson Park, with the other one being played at Bergman Park. The Modified Softball League playoffs will continue until at least next Tuesday, with a game being on August 2nd if necessary. Tomorrow night with a 7:10 first pitch, the New York Mets will begin a 3-game home series versus the San Diego Padres. New York remains in 4th place in the NL East at 45-54, winners of 5 of their last 7. Meanwhile, the Padres are in a last place tie with the Colorado Rockies in the NL West with a record of 47-52. Tomorrow's game will be televised on Sportsnet New York. That's it for sports today. Justin and Matt, back to you.
Alrighty, Norm, thank you very much. Well, a new seat fit for a giant was unveiled this morning near the corner of 3rd and Lafayette Streets here in downtown Jamestown. The chair, modeled in memory of Jamestown's once booming furniture industry, is the brainchild of Jamestown Renaissance Corporation. The group's deputy director, Christy Kathman, says the giant chair takes a special spin on giant Adirondack chairs that are also popular across the nation right now.
It captures Jamestown's history of being a furniture building city, but it also is unique. It's like something that a lot of people who have seen it already say like, oh, I had those chairs when I was a kid, or I have those chairs still in my house. We have them in our conference room at JRC, so it's fun to see it in such a big way.
Now, Kathman explained that the project would not have happened without the help of Fancher Chair, a Faulkner-based furniture manufacturing group. Marketing and events manager for Jamestown Renaissance Corporation, Zach Agate, says a plaque will be later installed detailing the history behind the seat and how the furniture industry left its mark on the city.
I mean, the goal is definitely to have people taking pictures and then tagging Jamestown and saying like, hey, look at this cool chair that's in Jamestown, New York. And then we'll have a little plaque beside it. It's not installed yet, but soon will be. That gives a little background on the history of the chair itself and the history of the furniture industry in Jamestown. And then for special events, we might bring some props out, try to have some people do some stuff.
Now, Agate said his group is thrilled and they were able to get the chair in place before the Lucy Comedy Festival that is scheduled to kick off the first full week of August. Now, Matt and Dakota, a stand and stair access to the seat will also be installed later on to make it a little bit easier for people to get up there.
How tall is the chair?
Pretty darn tall. I would imagine it's almost 10 to 12 feet off the ground.
You got to climb right now.
You do. You kind of have to climb or hop up there if you can. But I don't know. I imagine for especially like they get a lot of hockey kids and athletics into that arena. I imagine they'll probably have a blast getting up there now. So it's not too tall like where you could have like issue. But I think once they get the stairs installed, it'll be a little easier. You know, for maybe people who can't get up there.
Yeah.
Like myself. You know,
Did you try it?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, we did.
We did include that in the cut. But no, it's really cool. It's really cool chair. So thanks to them for putting that together. And I'm sure it'll just be another one of those awesome places, in the downtown area where you can snap pictures and selfies, and make sure you use the tag Jamestown in it as well. So. It's a block away from the NCC where they, even this morning there was a lot of people from out of town coming. It's like the buses just drop them off and there they go. I mean, it's quite the thing to cover.
Probably about 4 out of the 5 days a week that we work. Now, of course, we work weekends too, depending on news and weather, but generally, out of the 4 out of the 5 days when I leave the office, I generally always see a tour bus downtown. Oh, yeah. So.
And they like to park out right over here by our parking lot.
Yeah.
It's like they park right across the street by the Lucy Center, which is fine, But it's sometimes make you think of like big city traffic because I'm trying to like get out there without getting hit by another car.
That reminds me of something off air. Oh, yeah.
I think I know what Matt's talking about. The time that Matt's car was hit by another car.
No. Are you talking about what happened in our
old lot? Yeah, where Matt,
no, I wasn't talking about that. That's sad times. That
was a sad time.
There is a good time, but I don't think it's a good time for all, so we're going to go off
A good time was had by all.
Okay. All right. So let's go hour by hour through the afternoon now. Again, this is computer output, which is suggesting around 71 degrees. The temperature actually went backwards a little bit this morning. We actually fell to 59 at 11, but it's back up to 60 now. But, we'll see if we can hit it, but I think most of us will stay in the 60s all day. Again, thanks to cold fronts, that's way below average, but we'll get back into the 80s and the humidity by late in the week into next weekend.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you very much. I love the cooler temperatures today. It's nice not to have to be so hot all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone for joining us here on this Monday. Let's give a couple shout out to Kirk. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Barbara, good afternoon to you. Hello to Tammy, who has joined us. Sean Sweatman, the official Chautauqua Weather Today storm chaser. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us. Donna, hello to you. Hello to
Thanks for Friday,
Amy
too, by the
as
way,
well.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean did a great job
Yes.
with that severe rain, heavy rain that came down there. So that'll do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 on WNYNewsNow.com. Make sure you follow Matt Hummel on Twitter, as we're gonna have to do a live after this to talk about how it was a good time had by all.
Isn't it
except
Matt
for
H.
Matt.
WNY or something?
Oh, you
No,
don't.
Hummel,
Well, no
WNY.
one's gonna hear it now because we gotta go.
We gotta go. That's it. We gotta go. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Be sure to tune in right back here at noon and download the official WNY News Now mobile app to stay in the know.